Well, my Switch 2 is finally here a few days later than I would have liked it to be, but that's because I was traveling at the Southern California Gaming Expo. It was amazing to see all of you. Amazing to go game hunting, look for Game Boy Advance games and PS3 games, but it happened, that weekend happened right as the Switch 2 was launching. So my Switch 2 arrived back at home while I was traveling, so I didn't get a chance to unbox it. I didn't even get a chance to hold it yet. I've never held a Switch 2 before. There was one Switch 2 set up on the convention floor, and I was just staring at it, but it was plugged into a console and people were playing it, playing some Mario Kart, but I didn't get a chance to hold it, I didn't get a chance to feel it. So I don't have any first impressions of playing with the Switch 2. So what I thought I'd do today is just kind of unbox it myself, go through and just kind of capture and talk about my first impressions actually setting up and playing the Switch 2 for the first time. And then, of course, I will do a much deeper dive after I've had quite a bit of time to spend with it, playing some games. I did pick up Cyberpunk, and I went to the store today, actually, and I picked this up. I went to Walmart and grabbed this because I just wanted to kind of honor CD Projekt Red for putting the entire game on the cartridge. So I said, you know what? I'm going to say thank you. I know it's not maybe the greatest version of it. If you want to play it on PC or something, that's fine. But I said, you know what? I want to say thank you to CD Projekt Red for putting the entire game on the cartridge, plus the entire DLC, Phantom Liberty, as well, is all on here. And I also got Mario Kart World, of course. But that's it. So I'm really gonna, I think, only be collecting first-party games that are fully on the cartridge, or if there are any good indie games out there that really want to launch and have their full games on the cartridge. But I am not buying key cards. I'm staying away from that. And of course, I also got the Switch 2 camera and the Switch 2 Pro controller. So yeah, and then Walmart actually canceled my other Pro controller. I had ordered two, one from Target, one from Walmart, and Walmart canceled my other one for some reason. So anyway, all right, so without further ado, let me just start doing some little unboxing here, and I'm gonna set up the whole thing, and I've got my Switch 1 here that I'm gonna do the transfer. And let's just see what this looks like. How many of you have picked up a Switch 2? I did a whole video about, it's upside down. Did you see all the GameStop stories by the one GameStop, I think it was in Connecticut, where they stapled the receipt right to the box. And because the Switch 2's screen is like right here, it actually damaged the screen. Can you imagine that? Oh my God, you get home, you're super excited to play with your Switch 2, and then GameStop stapled their receipt right to the screen. It scratched the screen up. So yeah, that's a really crazy packaging, to be honest with you. Like, to have the Switch 2 like right at the top like that. But I guess it's part of like the wonder of like opening your box for the first time. You want to see the thing that you bought right at the top. You don't want it buried deep down beneath, right? That's kind of like Apple. When you open up your iPhone, it's right there. The screen is like right on the top of the box. So that's part of the wonder. Wow, I can already feel how much bigger this is to my other one. And I must say, I love the rounded, I gotta put my glasses on here just so I can get a better look at this. Wow, I really do. I just love this rounded feeling to it. And I have to say, it just has a much more, like premium feeling to it than the Switch 1. And I've got my Hori compact controls on the side here, the Joy-Cons on the side. But yeah, just say right away, this kickstand is really interesting, going all the way back like that. And then here, of course, is the SD card slot, the micro SD Express slot. And those SD Express cards, I know I was hunting for like a 512. I wanted to get like a terabyte because why not? Because I know I'm going to fill this up pretty quickly, probably with a lot of downloads and the size of these games these days. But the 256 I know is pretty expensive, and I know that Walmart has their own brand, their ONN brand, but I haven't had a chance to order one yet. So yeah, just this really has a nice, just like premium feeling to it. Volume up or down, power button, speakers on top, USB-C up here, game card slot. Oh, I want to see this game card slot. I saw a bunch of people talking about the rubberized, like, kind of bends back. you know, people are like, oh, that's gonna break. I don't know. I mean, like I've got this camera, my scuba diving camera, and you know, it's got the rubberized slots that you pop open to take the SD card in and out, and I've never had a problem with it. In the years that I've owned this or some other cameras, I've never had a problem taking SD cards in and out, and I think it's, you know, with this rubber or silicone that's like attached here, I think it's gonna be fine, but I guess time will tell. You know, that's the thing, right? When you get these devices out, we already know that in the day one, apparently, according to analyst reports, over 3 million Switch 2s were sold, and like sold on that first day, which is insane. So anytime you get something out to millions of people, suddenly there's going to start to be an issue. Remember when Apple, I think it was the iPhone 4, when it had the antenna gate issue, and you know, if you held the phone with your hand wrapped around it, it would like attenuate the signal, I guess, right? Is that the right word? Attenuate the signal, so that it would actually, you saw your cellular signal bars going down if you had your hand blocking the antenna. And the only way to really know that, I guess, if it's like millions of people has their hand on it. Anyway, okay, so there's the actual Switch. All right, I can see these Joy-Cons for the first time. Yeah, again, I haven't held these yet. Immediately, I just get to see how much bigger these are than the other Joy-Cons. They feel really nice. They feel really nice. One thing I noticed right away though is, holy smokes, the Joy-Con itself, or the stick here is much. It seems like it's much lower than my other Joy-Con, the original Joy-Cons. But I mean, I don't need them to be all, you know, tall ass Joy-Cons here, or joysticks, but it definitely feels shorter than the other ones. And yeah, there you go. That's the blue. Same with the red here. Okay. This plastic out of the way. What else do we have here in the box? Just the cables. Okay, the HDMI cable here. Let's get that out of the way. And these are the mouse mode. All right, these are the mouse mode handles here. Get this out of the way. So these like snap in here, I guess, right? Okay. Yeah, I can't wait to try out mouse mode. You know, I'm not a keyboard and mouse kind of game player and PC gamer. Back in the day, oh sure, when I was young. Not anymore. I just want to sit down. I'm not really, and even if I'm playing on my PC, like right here in this setup, I will play with my 8-bit DOE controller on the PC. So I'm not a mouse and keyboard guy. All right. What else do we have in here? Oh, we have the controller holder. All right. Ooh, I like the look of that. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna take these back off again. How do these pop up? Oh yeah, just push the button, they pop right off. Okay. Let me just do that again. So you just push the button, they pop right off. I like the clickiness of that. Okay. I'm gonna take these off so I can actually affix them to the device. Let's see how these click in here. I like this controller a lot. My kids usually play with these actually more than they do with like a Pro controller. It's really interesting that it's like kind of feels like two different devices, almost like there's a platter sort of sitting on top of this. I can say right away I like the feeling of the other one, of the Switch 1's version of this, because it feels like there's like a sharp edge here. But again, this is my initial impression, so maybe I'll love it. And I'm going to be playing with the Pro controller anyway, but maybe my kids will. I don't have a feeling about this or not. I don't know. We'll see here. You can see the shininess. It's weird because that gets covered up, and you only get to see just a little section of that, which is weird. But all right, put this over here. What do we have here? USB-C cord. The new power adapter. And so yeah, the new power adapter, well, the old power adapter for the Switch 1 apparently I don't think works with the new Switch 2, so you've got to use these new power adapters. And I know there was some funkiness. Do you guys remember the launch of the Switch 1? But the first iteration, the old school Switch 1. There was some just funkiness with, you had to use like a specific power adapter to get that dock powered up. I had a couple of different power adapters that just would not work on that Switch 1 dock. And I know people were like actually screwing up their Switches by plugging in other power adapters when they shouldn't have done that. I want to see this dock. I have not seen this thing yet. Okay, you can see the airflow here at the bottom. And a rounded design. So I got the AC adapter plug here, HDMI out, and the Ethernet port. Yeah, you remember that first Switch 1 too? No Ethernet port? It's kind of funny. And yeah, I like this rounded design. So this is like the design language of the Switch 2 has a lot of this rounded. I like the curves of it. But you know, it's funny, these different devices go through different design periods. Again, I come back to the iPhone. The iPhone started out very square, right? And then it went to this like rounded design language in the 3G and the 3GS era. And then with the iPhone 4, it went back to that sort of squared off design. And that's where the iPhone has remained, in that sort of squared off design now, with the glass edges. So Nintendo started off with a bit of a square, and now they've gone to this rounded design language. All right, let's click these in for the first time. First time. Oh, I like that. Wow, this is so much bigger. Holy smokes. Already I can tell with I'm 48 years old. I was like, am I 47? My daughter the other day, she says, aren't you 49? No, not yet. December 31st is my birthday, remember that? So with my eyes, gotten progressively worse, the bigger screen, I love this. I love the Steam Deck screen. I love that bigger. Just comparing that to this screen here. This is the OG. So yeah, just have the weight of this. Much heavier on this one than the original. But I really love the feeling of this. It's really great. Let me, so I'm gonna open up, I don't think we need to open up the camera right now. That's not terribly exciting. But let me open up this Pro Controller. I do want to see what this feels like. I love the Pro Controller. And I have to say, one of my favorite controllers of all time is the Wii U Pro Controller. Love the Wii U Pro Controller. And I just love the feeling of it. I love how it feels. I wish I should have gotten my razor blade or my box cutter, and I don't have it. And the battery life of the Pro Controller is just astonishing, isn't it? I don't ever have to charge that thing. Compare that to the PS5 DualSense controller. You charge that thing all the time. All right, here we go. I'm really excited about the Pro Controller. This is, because I'm going to probably play this more, oh yeah, more on my, wow. That feels fantastic. You know what's interesting? So definitely the Joy-Con, or I'm sorry, the sticks, the analog sticks are, look how much taller the analog stick is here on the Pro Controller than it is on the actual Switch Joy-Con. Isn't that interesting? That is a lot taller. So that's really where you can notice it big time, yeah. Yeah, just not as much travel on the actual console. Man, this feels nice. It has this really nice matte. There's no texture on here, so if you get sweaty hands, maybe be sliding around really fast. There's not like a, like the Xbox controller, there's a grippy sort of texture. But this feels super comfortable. I cannot wait to play. I cannot wait to play with this one. Oh, and I love these paddles on the back too. Yeah, this is great. Man, this might, well, we'll see. But already I can tell you this feels fantastic. This may end up becoming one of my favorite controllers. We'll see. We'll see how it all comes together here. But okay, so let's fire this thing up and see what we need to do. Get this all set up. There we go. So exciting, the launch of a new console. I know, like, even if you're like a Nintendo hater or whatever, I get it. But it's still exciting as a gamer. Wow, the speakers. Noticeably better. Wow. And this is, of course, I have to download the update. Let's do that. It's a pretty fast system update, not a huge one. So that's not too bad. The anticipation is killing me. I'm really just interested to see, how my current library of games. I don't have a ton of digital games. Maybe like, I don't know, 15 or so if I bought cheap ones on the eShop from time to time for different sales. I'm mostly a physical game collector, as you can see over here. All right, it's system transfer time. I don't have one yet. It's asking me for an SD card. I don't have that. Let's sign into my Nintendo account. I can already tell just setting up the internet and moving through the menus options. Holy smokes, how much faster the Switch 2 is. It's funny. And it's kind of sad because I'm saying goodbye to this device. I probably won't. Now with backwards compatibility, I really don't see a reason to be playing the Switch 1 anymore. All right, let's start the transfer process. I forgot to update my old Switch, so that has to go through an update first before that option in the menu even appears. So that's a lesson to all of you. Make sure you update your old Switch first to the latest firmware, then do the transfer. Okay, there it goes. Now the system setting is there. All right, your system's data will be transferred to a Switch 2 system. Next. Save data will be removed from this system and transferred to the new Switch system. That's weird. So the Animal Crossing software save data will be removed from this Switch 1. And my MEO, oh, that was a demo anyway. Okay, but that's weird. Now I gotta have a power plug here too. Shoot, I need another power plug. Okay, I've got another one here. How many things can I plug into this desk? It is plugged in. It is plugged in. What the heck? And my console battery is at 100%. It's at 100%. How much power does this thing need? I've now plugged this into like 6 different places, and I don't know what's going on, but it keeps giving me this error. Connect the AC adapter before starting the system. It's connected, charging. See, it's even charging. It is connected to AC power. Maybe I gotta put it in to the Nintendo Switch dock. Maybe I just gotta put it in there. Did you give that a shot? Yeah, that worked. Okay. It's all the way over there now, plugged into the dock, and it says start download. Okay, downloading data. This is definitely, this is a reminder why you definitely want to have like an adult helping you. Like if you got a child that's like setting this up for the first time and they've got an old Switch 1, make sure you're helping the child out with this, because this is not an easy process, I will tell you that. It's not terribly complicated, but there is a step-by-step process where a child is like gonna be like, wait a minute, we'll have to do what on the old Switch? What? So if you're having trouble with AC power, trying to plug it into some random USB-C power adapter or something like that, just use the dock with a Nintendo authorized power cord plugged into the dock. Then you should be fine. So this is only gonna take about 5 minutes. So I think really it's just transferring over your settings and your save data. And then it'll ask you to start installing all of your different games, your virtual cards now, and then and I know apparently that it's gonna ask you for each one. which I guess makes sense because if you don't want all of your games suddenly to appear on your device and you don't have the space for it on an SD card, that could be problematic, of course. So, all right, while this update is, or the download data is transferring, I'm going to open up my first Switch 2 game. My first Switch 2 game is Mario Kart World. Wow. Look at that place for a manual. Wouldn't it be so nice to have manuals again? I do like the red cartridges to distinguish them from the black Switch 1 cartridges. All right. I do like the red Switch case. I was curious what they would do. I thought they might pull like a Wii U and maybe like have it all blue or something like that, but I think the red is kind of now iconic for the Switch, so to kind of move away from that would probably be a mistake for Nintendo. You know, if it ain't fixed, don't broke it. And then my second game, Cyberpunk 2077. Let's crack this one open too. Oh, looky here. Some stickers. Some stickers. See, this is what I'm talking about. Just a little something else in there. And just a little history of the game a little bit there, plus the cartridge. All right, some stickers. I'll take some stickers. 10 minutes later, we're done. System transfer complete. The theme color from the source system will be carried over. All right. Setup complete. Press the home button. There we go. So Xenoblade Chronicles. It's trying to download an update there, I suppose. All of these are trying to do a download. Man, just so much faster. And this screen, oh my gosh, I gotta say this screen looks gorgeous. I was really worried, oh, it's not gonna be OLED, it's not gonna be OLED, is the screen gonna look like crap? I gotta say, no, it doesn't look like crap. This thing looks really, really good. I have to say, I also appreciate being able to get into the game card is much easier in the Switch 2. Just to be able to pull, because it's got this little divot on the back where your fingernail pops in the back. And it's just it's easier. It's much easier. I see my kids fumbling on the Switch 1 all the time to try to get into that. They're like, oh, I can't get it. Daddy, can you help me? And this is just pop right out. I love that. All right, Mario Kart time. A new update is available. That's the age we live in. Every time you put a game in, there's a new update available. Man, the screen looks really good. These colors are popping. I can already tell, let me just turn this down a little bit here, volume a little loud. I can already tell that, you know, like comfort-wise, holding this in my hand is gonna be achy. So I'm gonna definitely look for maybe some sort of a grip if I'm gonna play it in handheld mode. Because like I said, on my Switch 1, I love playing with the Hori pads that connect to the side, because it just adds that nice ergonomic feeling to the palm. So, you know, to be able to travel, I travel with my Switch all the time. So I'm gonna have to find some other option, maybe from D-Brand or Genki or somebody else who makes a case, or, you know, Joy-Con grips that'll make it more ergonomic and more comfortable. So I can already see that I'm not gonna like just playing with this sort of flat piece of glass like this. But just for the sake of Starting it off, let's try it. Man, the colors, I'm telling you, this absolutely looks beautiful. Yeah, the screen just looks great. Wow. It's funny, I can tell already, like, the analog stick is just so much smaller than I'm used to, so it doesn't have as much travel, but again, I don't, you know, I don't play with the normal Joy-Cons that came with the Switch 1, so I'm always playing with... Whoa! I'm in 24th place. Okay, I'm gonna have way too much fun with this, I can already see. But, all right, now it's down to the gameplay. So I'm gonna do a deep dive over the next few days and really dive into this hardware and put it through the paces. I'm gonna be playing a lot of Switch 1 games from my collection here, see how those perform on this device, putting it through its paces on the big screen, in docked mode, with my Pro controller. So this is just my first impressions. The screen looks beautiful, the hardware feels premium. I'm not a big fan of the analog stick size, but again, be playing it here on the Pro controller. The speakers sound amazing to my ears. I love the larger screen. I like the kickstand. I like the speed with which everything loads. Overall, I'm gonna say right now, like I'm impressed. Again, it is a Switch 2, and that's exactly what I wanted. I've been saying for years that the next Switch, I just want it to be a better Switch. That's it. I don't need it to be reinvented. I don't need you to go back to the drawing board and create like the Wii U and some kind of craziness. No, I just want what worked really well, arguably probably the best-selling console of all time in the Switch 1, and just give me something better. Just give me that, but better processor, better graphics, maybe better improved battery life, all of that. Better graphics, better experience, better eShop, and yeah, that's what I want. And I think we got that here from the Switch 2. So again, first impressions, traveling, not being able to get my hands on it when it first launched, but I'm loving it so far. I'm liking the experience, and I'm a huge Switch fan. I love the first Switch. It's probably my favorite console of all time. So you're just improving upon it? Great. Sign me up. Sign me up. So let me know what you guys think about the Switch 2. Did you buy one? Are you holding off on it? Again, I'm going to do more of a deep dive here and dive into a lot of my games from the past and see how those perform on here. But yeah, first impressions, guys. Thanks so much for subscribing. Thanks for waiting a few days. And if I got a chance to run into you at the Southern California Gaming Expo, thank you for saying hello. It was a real treat. And we'll see you next time, everyone.